women who are really resisting menopause and the aging process. And I think that some of that has a lot to do with how we're brought up here, especially in the US. Menopause, that whole aging process, is not appreciated, respected, or embraced.
Yeah.
In Western cultures, and it is in many others. Right. And how we experience and relate to menopause is totally dependent on our culture.
Absolutely.
In Saudi Arabia and the Arabic-speaking countries where women are in traditional roles, they have a lot of children, but then as they age, they actually move into being the matriarch of the family and caring for the grandkids and so on. But they're then revered and held to a different status. Their status improves. And as it turns out, and funny how this is, when there's no resistance, they actually don't have much in the way of menopausal symptoms.
Yeah.
Because they're making this smooth transition from one energy space to another. In Africa, the Kun tribe is a tribe where women's status also improves after menopause. They have more power and more political clout.
Yeah, within the community. Their presence as wisdom keepers and teachers is revered and held to a high esteem.
Yeah. Native American. And there's like so many. The Native American Navajo culture women can become shamans or medicine women only after their reproductive years have ended. And again, they don't report menopausal side effects. So what's that saying?
Yeah, I know. Let's unpack that. There's a lot there. There's a lot. Some of that, like you said, has to do with there's not this resistance to the process, or maybe there's not this judgment on the process. Like,
both.
Right. There's no resistance. There's no judgment. The culture is more oriented towards honoring women in general throughout the different phases of their life, recognizing that there's power in each of those phases and giving women the space to have that power.
Yeah. And creativity. Although I see power and creativity as one and the same. Yeah. I want to kind of point out, though, that when we talk about power, we are not talking about power over something. Right. We're talking about our own personal power, our stand in your truth power. Again, not my truth is better than your truth. It's not a division. It's about the wholeness of standing body and spirit.
Yeah, in alignment.
As far as I see it. So I also see that creativity is part of our personal power.
Yes.
Because when we have all of our energy, it's so funny. I want to say all of our energy ducks in a row.
Yeah, aligned. I was going to say when we're aligned, we're connected.
When everything is aligned, we are whole and complete. And that's what's the most powerful thing in the world. It's the most beautiful thing in the world when you see a woman standing in her power with her creative processes going as she is, with the confidence and all the wisdom that she has to offer. It's the most stunning thing ever.
Yes.
So you want to talk about the hot topic?
Yeah, it is a hot topic. Apparently, we're not supposed to be talking about this, Debbie.
Oh, we are not supposed to be talking. And you know what? Therefore, I love talking about it. And in fact, I think I'm going to be writing something about it as well, because it's just so inspiring to talk about. But what about these dang hot flashes that are so annoying?
Why do women, what is going on energetically when a woman experiences hot flashes?
Well, other than the normal, what the doctors will tell you, because it is hormonal. Our hormones begin to shift because we need all those hormones to have babies. Mm-hmm. Right? We're
filtering out unneeded hormones.
We're shifting out of all that unneeded stuff.
Yeah.
But there's two parts, because I'm not a doctor and I don't even want to go into, let's say, the physical part of it. I just see it as that yes, it's part hormonal. But what I see energetically is it is our Kundalini energy turning on to clear all that stuff that we want to clear.
Yeah.
Now,
so for folks
or release, actually.
So for folks that want a little bit more understanding of what Kundalini is, or tell us about Kundalini a little bit more.
So Kundalini is a natural, loving, healing, and enlightening energy. Okay. And this energy, there's two channels that run up our spine. There's the hot one and the cold one.
Yeah.
And what Kundalini does, because I know people sometimes get really scared of Kundalini because there's information out in the spiritual community that, oh my God, you're going to destroy yourself if you turn on your Kundalini. And I don't know if you ever had a class on Kundalini, an energy class.
Yeah.
But we learned how to turn down our Kundalini.
Yes.
All the way down. And I actually used that the whole time. And I really didn't have too many hot flashes until much, much later on. And that's kind of a different issue. But it's a loving and healing energy. And what it does is it starts to burn off all the energy and pictures and pain that have been stuck in our bodies and even in our energy systems. Yeah.
That's a good thing. Let it go.
Let it go. Release it. And one of the results is you start to trust your intuition more and in a deeper way as you connect. And to most people, like when they experience their natural Kundalini, it's just kind of a wave of divinity that opens new pathways. Some talk about it being sexual energy, but it's all about just focusing on that and just letting it flow.
Yeah.
Let it do its job and burn off whatever energies you're ready to burn off. I see all these as energetic helpers.
Yeah.
And honestly, to be clear, I have cold flashes, not hot flashes.
So it's not always hot, right? Because like you said, there's those two channels. There's the central channel too. And then those two, the hot and the cold. And so it could be cold flashes. It could be if you've got that moon channel, the cold channel, more active, moving energy.
Yeah.
It's chilly.
And that's kind of more miserable, I have to say. I mean, a hot flash, at least you can take off your clothes, and get down to shorts and a tank top and eating your cake. All the while you're doing it. Yeah. But the cold one, oh my gosh, because it's like from the inside out. It's really hard to explain. It's
like you can't get warm enough because it's coming from inside.
It's inside. I could never get warm enough. So there were times when I'd come home and open the windows on a 90-degree day and put on a sweatshirt, like literally I'd put on a sweatshirt and just try to heat up all my body. So yeah, hot flashes weren't. Night sweats is one thing. When I first started having night sweats, which I think was probably in my 30s, because really our hormones start to go down by the time we're in our 30s. So it's about mid 30s. And I remember that studying energy, I noticed that the hot flash per se was like only at my fourth chakra. I would literally be sweating right in the middle of my chest in that affinity energy center. Wow. And I mean sweating just right from there.
Yeah.
And then I felt it here, there were times that I felt it right in my throat that it was only like, when I say wet, I mean like wet coming from one area.
Wow. This reminds me of so many stories I've heard from other women of describing menopausal symptoms, and it's like, well, it's all over the place. It's anything and everything, right? It's like because it's unique to every woman, and it's how when that Kundalini energy is moving, where is it clearing the blocks? What kind of energy is it clearing? It's going to produce a different symptom in each person, and so to describe the symptoms, it's like, well, name something. It's like
right. We don't know. Like,
you can't put it in a box. You can't define the symptoms really. Yes, there's this general, hot flashes, but like you said, could be cold too. And it could be just in one location, and
could be,
what do you need? All day, could be on and off.
And that's when we ask, well, what is it that we need to heal? Mm-hmm. As we enter these spaces.
Yeah.
And also, are we in any competition with our mother and where our mother was at any particular age that we match?
Right. Or with other women, like is there, or with ourselves, are we in competition with our bodies? Like it can't be this way, it has to be this way.
So that I think maybe we're getting to the reason why we don't talk about this. Because people don't like it when there's not definitive, tell me what to do, tell me what the answer is.
Yeah. Clear cut. And there's this, and then there's this.
There's this, and then there's this. And everybody's going to have a different experience. And there's going to be experiences that aren't even, sort of written in the books or have been talked about before because people don't realize that it's a menopausal symptom.